Greetings, ones and ones. We got episode 3 of First World Issues. We got this Joy Taylor allegedly slept with Emmanuel Ocho and the hairstylist suing Skip Bayless situation. Check it out. Like, subscribe, lock in with me. Let's see what's going on here.
Wake up call, same time. How would I not know how
Surrounding
hard it is to do the show
association.
I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you gotta do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that's just gonna make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average. I couldn't be okay. I couldn't be late. I couldn't complain. I couldn't say no. Now I do.
Right. So, guys, we got to talk about this stuff that's going on at FS1. It's getting crazier and crazier by the minute now. We just saw Skip Bayless was listed in the lawsuit. And this former hairstylist, Miss Faraji, she was basically saying, Skip was inappropriate towards her. But she has some very serious allegations towards Joy Taylor. And this involves Emmanuel Acho and Charlie Dixon, who was the head of content, vice president over there at FS1. So we're just going to get right into it. And we're going to look back at some of the videos of Emmanuel Acho and Joy Taylor. Now, it says on January 14, 2017, Miss Taylor had her birthday party at Pearl's Rooftop in West Hollywood. Ms. Faraji and other Fox employees who were invited attended as it was part of their job duties to appease talent. And a birthday party is an important event. As usual, Mr. Dixon was heavily drinking, buying drinks for everyone on Fox's credit card and blustering that everything was on Fox's dime. As Ms. Faraji was standing near the bar facing the crowd, Mr. Dixon approached her. He asked the bartender for a drink and then placed his arm on Miss Faraji's lower back. He asked how she was doing, if she was having fun, if she wanted a tequila shot. Miss Faraji felt very uncomfortable by his unsolicited touching and responded, "No, thank you." Mr. Dixon then moved his hand lower and started rubbing her body and grabbing her buttocks. Miss Faraji was mortified but quickly thought to fake an incoming call to escape from this situation. Miss Faraji did not know who to turn to, but as she knew Mrs. Taylor was sleeping with Mr. Dixon, she turned to her. Surprisingly, Miss Taylor responded to get over it and explained that she herself only had her job because Mr. Dixon and that Miss Faraji only had her job because Miss Taylor requested her. She warned that Mr. Dixon could take both away. Miss Faraji was terrified and then turned to her coworker, Anonymous, to discuss the situation. Anonymous responded that Mr. Dixon was discussing that the entire situation was sick, but that it wasn't shocking given Fox's culture and that Miss Faraji should remain quiet if she wanted to keep her job. As a single mother who needed the job to support her son, Miss Faraji had no choice but to remain silent. So, there's more, saying that Mr. Dixon will go on to get rid of some talent that wouldn't sleep with him on the show. But I want to highlight this other thing with Emmanuel Acho. It says, Miss Taylor again uses her sexuality to get on a show. In approximately February 2020, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Miss Taylor with a man, Emmanuel Acho. Miss Faraji did not know Mr. Acho, but could tell the two were romantically involved. A few months after meeting Mr. Acho at the lunch, Miss Faraji noticed him in the hallway while at work. Miss Faraji later asked Miss Taylor if Mr. Acho also worked at Fox. Miss Taylor confirmed and explained that she wanted Mr. Acho to eventually recommend her on the show Speak for Yourself. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that she should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time, as Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become very angry. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. She explained that she was also powerful now, and once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like other women talent. In approximately September 2020, Mrs. Taylor started working on Speak. Mrs. Taylor requested Ms. Faraji to do her hair. And you can see right here on Mrs. Faraji's page, she has Joy Taylor ready to go out there. You can see she does Rachel Nichols and others. She has, those photos of that. And so we're going to look at some of the videos that people are bringing back up between Acho and Joy Taylor.
Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in? So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports. But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight. It's hard to do, and Joy, you have done it. So congratulations. Looking forward to working with you, and hope y'all tune in 4:30 to 6 Eastern every day starting next week. That's what I have to deal with, people. I'm over here focused on the show, and I don't know what exactly she's doing.
Listen, somebody has to look good around here, okay?
Slick, you see that shade she threw at you, bro? Because you weren't talking to me.
That was everyone.
So that's the wild stuff that's going on about Joy Taylor, guys, Emmanuel Acho, and the whole situation over there at FS1. And we know, we see the same people on TV. They get different gigs. They switch the shows around, but we know that certain faces are always popping up, and a lot of times we've seen it. You could even see it if you worked at Food Line or something like that. You could see a manager trying to use his position of authority, to provide opportunities to people willing to oblige his advances or her advances, right? And so we've seen these type of things happen even in our everyday world. So we always hear about, what people did to climb up the corporate ladder, what oaths they've taken, what have they done,
We get it. So here's my 2 cents. So, like the gentleman was just saying, there's nothing new for a woman to sleep with. That's a completely normal phenomenon within. I can think of how many different paradigms, right? That's not an uncommon thing. So we're not gonna go. Ain't nobody jumping out the window over that situation. The strange situation I find is that the woman that's suing Skip Bayless, why she felt she was compelled to have to um release that information about the gentleman and Joy Taylor. That's the only thing I find strange. And then also, obviously, the elephant in the room would be Skip Bayless offering 1.5 million to have sex with somebody is just bizarre in every way, shape, and the form. But hey, seems to be the world we live in nowadays. These guys are getting paid way too much money for a bunch of nothing, and they just got to throw their money around, I guess, and dump it in places. And I guess they be dumping it on women that they can never get on a regular day. So they offer them $1.5 million. And why do you think we have these women's egos inflated to the size of a friggin' air balloon? And we wonder why. These are the reasons. And men like these guys, the guy that's ahead of the whatever decisions the gentleman said in the show, he's all in on it. And Skip Bayless, and this is wild. It's wild, but I'm sure there's better news we can tap into. But anyways, this is the breaking news. I figured I have to comment on this, but like I said, this ain't nothing new. This is as old as the wheel. Women sleeping their way to the top. somebody who's less talented. I mean, and I'm not saying she ain't talented. I won't say that, but we'll see. Like, subscribe. Any subscription is much appreciated. Thank y'all. Have a blessed day.